Hey, what's up, guys? This is MPFSU, back with another update. I believe this is update 10. We are in season 2. I believe this is week 9 or week 10. No, actually, I'm sorry, week 13. So we've been moving along pretty smoothly. Nice transition for this season. But let's go ahead and hop into it and see what everyone has been up to this season and see how things are going. We got a lot of big matchups this week, and let's go ahead and check out the top 25 poll. And as we look here, there's a change of the guard. I know in my previous update, Ohio State was number 1, but they've been flipping back and forth. Them in Florida. Florida's currently the number 1 team in the nation, sitting at 11-0, looking decent for their situation right now. But let's go ahead and see how they've been doing for the past few weeks. All right, so guy had a nice 2-point win against LSU. Another 3-point win against Vandy. Really close the game there. 8-point win against Mizzou, 50-42. And then now they're starting to lay some smack down against UGA. They win 34-7. And then against New Mexico State, another big win, 52-14, and a huge win against South Carolina, 59-28. But then lingering there, that's right, Florida State. They got them after they get their couple of bye weeks to get prepared for this huge rivalry game that's going to have a lot of implications on their national title aspirations. But let's start back out and let's go ahead into Ohio State and see what they've been going, how they've been rolling. So got a nice win against Northwestern, 42-25. As you see against Penn State, really tough game for them. But they end up winning it by 5, 49-44. And at Minnesota, just ridiculous amount of scoring here, 70-13. Just a laugher and a win for them. And then Illinois, where's the defense? 62-53 against Illinois. And as you can see there, looming that November 29th matchup. So it's going to be a huge weekend for college football for these two, for Florida State and Florida. Florida State and Florida, and Michigan and Ohio State, with good national title implications. All right, Texas is number 3 right now, and they have this week matchup, which is game of the week against Oklahoma State. So that should be a huge matchup. Can't wait to see what happens with that. But let's take a look and see Oklahoma State's travels. So they've had some tough games going at the beginning. I mean, they win 2 out of the 3. They beat Clemson and Ohio State and Oregon at the beginning. But then as you look here, moving on, 2-point victory against TCU. They pull away from Baylor towards the end to win 38-24. Texas Tech, blowout win, and then West Virginia is becoming like a huge nemesis for these guys. Only a 4-point victory against West Virginia, and there we have it. Texas, 8-0, number 3 in the country, and they beat the Cowpokes last year. So this should be opportunity for them maybe to get revenge, or it may be the same. So we'll have to see what happens in this game, because it would be huge for Oklahoma State to try to get a shot at the national title, because they're ranked number 4. All right, now we have LSU closing out the top 5. They had a nice victory against Texas A&M, 35-17. Then a thriller against Alabama, which came down to the final seconds to pull off that win. And then laugher against Memphis, 63-17. But nothing too scary going on here in their schedule. Tough matchup against Arkansas, but that's at the end of the season. We'll see how they do in the SEC championship. Just looks like they may be on their way there. All right, Clemson, who's a surprise this season after not being in the top 10 much of last season. They're there due to a win over Florida State, but a lot of close victories. 7-point win against Arkansas, 56-49. Another high-scoring game against the Terps, 56-37. Wake Forest, same thing. They've been scoring like 50 points in like every last one of their games, but they're just not playing any defense. UVA, another high scoring game, and then Georgia Tech, 49-46. So here's like 5 games where no defense for Clemson. Actually, it's been no defense all year if you look at their whole overall scoring there. They do have South Carolina towards the end. I think Boston College may be a tough matchup for them. I know that was a tough matchup for us, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, still a lot of football to be played. And here's Cal coming back with a nice surprise as a top 10 team once again. They have some nice wins here against Colorado, one against Washington at Washington State, and then they also had a nice win against Oregon to keep pace for their opportunity to maybe win the Pac-12. But still games left to be played, so we'll see what happens there. Virginia Tech is number 8, and here's Florida State. We are number 9, and pretty easy win against the Terps, 42-17. A slow grinding affair against Miami. We win that, pull that one out 21-3. Then we pull away from North Carolina State towards the end. That was a tough game, 45-25. And then things start getting interesting as we run into a brick wall against Colorado State and took overtime to beat them 41-35. Then Boston College, another tough game that had to pull out towards the end. We won that one 28-20. A lot of good football going on here, a lot of fun. And there's Florida at the end. We'll see what happens as we get moved down to that November 29th matchup. Will be huge. All right, so let's see. Do we have anyone else? So here's Oregon. All right, Oregon jumps in here. They got nice win against UCLA, 66-20. Stanford, a nice big win there, 49-31. They pulled that out. Against Washington, only a 10-point victory. But they were able to put that out. A pretty tough opponent, ranked at 18. And then they had a loss against Cal, the number 17 in the country, 35-49. So no other ranked teams on their schedule. Always a tough matchup when they have to play their rival Oregon State at the end. So we'll see how that works out for them. And here we got a newcomer. This is Governator. He's taking over USC later in the season. So he has some nice wins here. One against Arizona State, 34-24. At Utah, nice 20-something point win, 63-35. Colorado and a laugher, 42-14. And at Arizona, nice huge win, 52-7. And then a close matchup against Stanford. Took the last few minutes to hold on, but they was able to win 34-29. So Notre Dame looming there, but and UCLA. So 2 rivalry games towards the end of the season. See how that works for them. Let's see, and here we go. Miami is in the top 25. Oh man, you need to stop the presses. Stop the presses. Oh man, pop champagne. It is raining and snowing in hell right now because Miami is ranked in the top 25. Oh, man. So it looks like they had a nice win against UVA, 45-20. Let's see, against Georgia Tech, 28-7. Old Dominion and a laugher, 59-20. And then a close matchup against Duke, which is pretty interesting. They were able to win that 35-28. But the huge matchup, this has conference championship implications right here. Again, at number 8, Virginia Tech. They could beat the Hokies. They may have a shot to go to the ACC title game. All right, so that is it for that. Now let's go ahead and check out some new things that's popped up. We're going to go into the Heisman Watch to see what's going on in the Heisman's right now. So we have Braxton Miller leading, doing this thing there. Then you have Devontae Freeman from FSU there. DeAnthony Thomas holding his ground steady. Didn't have a great game against Cal, but still holding his ground steady here. Matt Jones is falling off a little bit. A lot of carries, not a lot of yards, not a lot of touchdowns against South Carolina. And then here's Bigelow. Bigelow's showing his rear and his ugly head into the Heisman race. 20 carries, 20 yards, 2 TDs, 5 receptions, 32 yards against Oregon. So he's doing his thing and trying to make things happen. So that's good for him. Now let's move on and look at the award finalists. I just want to go over these guys briefly. And so right now, currently, we have Braxton Miller in the lead for the Maxwell Trophy. And he's also the lead for Walter Camp. This is a familiar tune here. So we got, let's see, Avery Sebastian, strong safety from Cal, is leading the Bednarik as the best defensive player. Surprised it's not Bullard again this season. Nagurski, there's Bullard. He's doing his thing, leading this one. So that's good for him. You have some other guys here, Hunter and Sebastian there. Hanging out for the O'Brien. Austin Hinder, senior, 6'4", 202, 3,890 yards and 40 touchdowns. He's putting up some huge numbers, and he may be awarded for that. Let's see, the Walker, you have Matt Jones, currently has 1,400 yards rushing and 20 touchdowns. So good job by him. Seems like he's positioned himself to win the Walker Award. And Biletnikoff, Marquise Lee, he has 69 receptions for 1,400 yards. And Sammy Watkins is following high. I think Sammy Watkins won the award last year. And there's Odell Beckham. Like I said, remember the name. So pretty tight matchup here. We'll see how that pans out. All right, for the Mackey, we got Taylor from Florida. Heard a lot of things about this guy, so I guess we probably need to pay attention to him when we play him. But he's doing his thing. 54 receptions, 983 yards. Then we have Garcia, left guard for the Outland Trophy, and for the Remington, Chaz Green from Florida. So it looks like Florida's offensive line is getting it in. So here we got Bullard for the Lombardi, best defensive lineman. And best linebacker, Michael Taylor. Florida's bringing home a lot of awards right now. And for the Thorpe, there's Sebastian again. He's the semifinalist, as well as Riggs and Purefoy from Florida. So Florida's getting a lot of love. It's very interesting. I'm not going to talk about kickers. Let's see, best return, Mac Brown, another Florida player. I sense bias here. Whatever. All right. Moving on. Let's just check out the conference standings real quick, and then I'm going to close this out. But I do appreciate you guys watching. If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. And because I'll definitely be posting more updates for the PS3 online Big Dynasty. And like I said, look for J-Tech Miami, close matchup there. Share the video, because I would definitely appreciate that other people could watch it. So Ohio State's leading that. So it looks like Michigan's there. So that could be a pending rematch. Let's go out to the Pac-12. Cal is leading that, and they may have wrapped that up by beating Oregon. And what do you know, USC. So that's good. We should have a nice Pac-12 title match that'll be very interesting. All right, and I believe let's look at the Big 12. We're missing that. Okay, there's the Big 12, and this week's matchup highly pending. Who can win? Look at Kansas there, 7-1, creeping in at number 3. So this matchup here between Texas and Oklahoma State will probably decide who's going to win the Big 12 title. Will it be Texas again this year, or Oklahoma State? You guys post your comments and tell me what you think. So I appreciate you guys watching. That's it for me, and I'm out. Peace.